Make a buddy or a boy, make a buddy or a boy, make a buddy or a boy now.
So here they come to sell him again. 9.5 straight night, 20 straight night, even straight here. Now guys eat hard.
What is going on, guys? So this is going to be a video long requested by various folks on essentially the NYSE NASDAQ combined tick. This is offered on Sierra Chart. Not sure if other platforms offer this as well, but this is going to be configured with this in mind. So a little bit about the NYSE NASDAQ tick. All it's measuring is how many stocks are ticking up minus stocks that are ticking down. Okay, so you know, when a stock moves up in price across the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, then it's counted as +1, and then when a stock is moving down in real time, it's counted as -1. So when the whole market is moving up or moving down, sort of as an orchestra, like a chorus, it's all moving together. You would say that the market is very strong. It occurs sometimes during breakouts. You can also get a very high or correlated NYSE NASDAQ tick when there's a lot of FOMO in the market, right? It just indicates that everything is starting to move in unison. And so this is the chart I have for it. This is breadth down here, but won't get into that. So essentially, right, when it moves above 2000, right, it's a very strong reading, right, to the upside. When it moves below 2500, you want to kind of consider that everything's moving in a strong way to the downside. And then typically below 3000, you're getting some sort of short-term capitulation, right? And then I've identified 3200 as typically a great place to scalp the E-mini. Okay, so what you want to be aware of when you're using this is, okay, let's just say the markets have consolidated. Here, let me get this. I'm going to use this little area. So the markets have moved down, and then they start to do this, right? Well, we know that's what, maybe a bear flag or something. So the markets, they went this direction, right, of the arrows, and they came down and they consolidate. And then sometimes you'll see, like, right as it breaks this level, the NYSE NASDAQ tick will hit like 3000. And that just shows that the market might be breaking out, right? But sometimes, right, you get a move where the markets, and again, I'm in a replay mode here in Sierra Chart. So the markets, let's say, have done something like this, right? And they've just been moving down, and they've just been moving down, right? So the markets have already been trending down, and maybe you're looking for a point, right? We have this lower trend line here. You're looking for a point at which to buy, maybe, right? So we have this trend line here, we have it here, right? And if the market comes down here, depending on how it gets there, is that maybe a buy point? It's a rule of 3, but maybe we stop short of it, right? So it's very context dependent. You wouldn't want to be using, wouldn't want to be, say, getting long with the NYSE Nasdaq tick if the market went like this and then started to break out, right? And it's like hitting 3,000, negative 3,000 here, right? That's often a breakout. But if the market had done this, made another consolidation, done this, kind of done this, and then, oh, a huge tick, and then whoosh, sprung up, right? Maybe that's a Wyckoff spring or something, right? And then here's your trend line. So this happens, and then it breaks this level. Uh-oh, shorts are in trouble. Pulls back a little bit, and then just breaks the trend line and keeps going. When you get like a negative 3,200 here or something, or if it's after a long move, then it can be a great signal. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys is how to configure this. All right. So first off, I've got this NYSE Nasdaq, NYSE underscore Nasdaq underscore NYSE market up here on my screen. And what's kind of cool, you can add this as a separate chart and, you know, put the little dotted lines in here, right? Just using a horizontal line tool, and then, you know, changing the how it looks and all of that, right? But you can also do some other things that will make seeing this on your charts a little bit easier. Okay, so here's what I'm going to show you guys. All right, I'm going to show it. Just selling everything. They're just selling. It can be a kind of a capitulation indicator. So I want that bar to color. We're going to ignore everything else, but I want that bar and the draw styles color bar. I think it's default that way, but I want that bar to color something different than the normal blue, and I want it to be some sort of lighter blue. Okay. Because I want it to catch my attention, essentially. and then come over here to the alerts, and then just type in this formula essentially. So this formula refers to ID 20 SG4 is less than or equal to 3100. So less than 3100, right? It would be like 3100 or 3101, negative 310203, right? And it's all negative, so it's less than or equal to 3100. Okay. Right? You can just type it in, like you can do 3200 or 3000, whatever you want to do. Play with it. Okay. So this ID here simply refers to this. You see this tick NYSE NASDAQ, right? It's ID 20, and the subgraphs you're using is the last. So when the last, I guess, price for the NYSE NASDAQ tick is what, negative 3100, right? Then that condition is true. Okay, so that's what that is. So here in the inputs here, I didn't actually cover this. Where you set it as what it's based on, you just do based on, and then you find within this chart, you find that symbol NYSE NASDAQ. That's why you have it there. And that's why it's hidden, because you don't want it to show up in the chart, right? But you want to refer to it, so you just do that add symbol, and you refer to it here, right? So you know, you want to do chart region 1 for sure, and again, do this. So okay, you want to do the same thing for color bar alert for over 2200, and that maybe is a little bit overheated to the upside. Okay, again, you can mess with it. You could say 2000 if you want. 2000 is a normal breakout reading, but it tends to go to like 2200 when it's really overheated, and you can scalp short on the E-mini a lot of times. Okay, so let's go into the settings for this. This refers to the exact same thing. The symbol, right? That add symbol that we added. You can reduce this to 10 again. So everything's the same. Maybe make your short name something that makes sense to you, right? Otherwise, these are both going to look the same. You won't be able to differentiate them if you just leave it as default. And then here, right, because we'd be moving upside, I want it would be obviously a blue bar, because you know the E-mini would be rallying probably. But I would want it to tell me, oh, even though it's moving up, right, pink is my sell bar. But I want it to be lighter than the usual sell bar. I want this to give me an indication that I should consider selling 1, and 2, I want it to be slightly lighter because I want it to grab my attention. Okay, so we're doing color bar, and then the alert would be, again, the same logic here. ID 20.sg4 is greater than or equal to 2200. So 2200 or above will color that bar. Right, so hopefully that makes sense. So we've done that for this, but you can do the same thing for, okay, let's hit OK. You can do the same thing for this, right? So, and we can do it slightly differently. So we can go almost the same. Okay, so obviously the main symbol here, so I've got a bunch of add symbols for these things. So the main symbol for this is this symbol, okay? And we want to reference this symbol, right? It's not a study, it's the main symbol for the chart. So here's what we do. We go into studies, and then we add the color bar based on alert condition study. All right. So let's do the buy one first. So we're saying when the tick reading of the last is less than 3100 to color the bar, right? But maybe in this one we wanted to get our attention more. So here's what we do. So okay, let's say we added this, and we're doing the 3100 first, here's what we do. So we base it off the main price graph, because the main price graph, what we just looked at in chart settings, is this symbol. Okay, we rename it. Number of bars to calculate, right? All the same. Chart region 1, this is chart region 1. Now here's where it's a little different. On the color bar, so again this would be a buy bar, you want to say background for draw style, background transparent, and put the transparency to like 5 or something. Okay, and you'll see how it's going to look. Also, set this to draw steady underneath main price graph. That way, because this is going to be a background, it's going to highlight this whole bar. It doesn't cover the actual color of this bar or anything, and it's really going to pop. It's going to get your attention, right? So within the charts it'll be a little cleaner, like these will turn like light blue, but this one's meant to like grab your attention. Hey, it's going over some extreme number here, take a look. Maybe you want to try to enter long or something. Okay, so color bar, background, again transparency level for fill styles 5. This will be affected if this is some sort of transparency draw style. And, you don't have to. You can put non-transparent and just put background. But I liked the way that the at 5% looked, so I tinkered. And so this will color the whole background. Then you go ahead and you do the same thing for the positive tick, right, which would give you a sell signal, right? Things are overheated to the upside, and make it lighter. Right? Background transparent, 5 again. Draw it underneath, reference the main, right? Copy all of that. Okay, so now I want to just show you guys how this works in real time. So I have this set up on all of these charts. Right, so what I've done for this one, I've done for this, and I've done for this. Again, that's add additional symbol, right? Add that symbol, hide it, and then color bar based on alert condition for the up and the down. So it's just a repeated process over here. And to speed that up, what I would do is for the add symbol, right, when you're going and you're creating all of this, just set it as the default. Okay, and then next time you add the symbol to another chart, it'll just populate this. And then once you're done doing that, right, reset back to whatever it is, the default setting for this. Okay, and that way when you add this, you don't have to repopulate all this each time. That's a little trick, and do that for these as well. So for the 3100 one, just go ahead and set the default as this, and then when you pull the study up again, it'll have all this populated. So you'll have to just make sure you get the IDs right based on whatever the ID is for the add additional symbol is, right? And then you just change this to 2200, invert this greater or less than symbol, change the short name. I think I already mentioned that. And yeah, you can build it really fast that way by having most of it already done almost for you. So that's a little tip to make things a little faster. Okay, so here we are on the replay chart. We're gonna do charts with same link number. Okay, I've covered this in another video for replays. I've set this chart, this chart, this chart, this chart, and this DOM all to have the same link number that's different than everything else that's within this chart book. So I'm not loading too many charts. Okay, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to a time. I think we already have this even set up. Yeah, it's already all set up. So we've gone back here to, what is it? Looks like 9:45. Is that 9:45? Yeah, 9:45. So this is 9:50. So we've gone back to 9:50. I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you. And what I'm wanting you guys to look at is maybe I'll just try to get this off the screen, is look at the bar, all the bars, look at the indicator, look at this bar, and it's just meant to highlight that, hey, we might be overheated. This is an extreme tick reading, right? And it's very useful. Okay, so given what I told you, right, here's a trend line. We've already had a fairly nice move. This is Friday, so the options, the highest traded strike price was 41.50, so we expected that to act like a magnet. Okay, so that's a little bit of confluence, and it's probably enough. So here we go. Let's just play this thing. Here we go. All right. We'll put it like here or something. All right. Market's moving down. Here's the tick. Right? Here's our footprint here. Here's our DOM. This has got recent bid volume, recent ask volume. This is the bid. This is the ask. This is pooling stacking, right? Pooling stacking here. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit to 2. I will speed it up to 5 times. Alright, see that? Breaking out to the downside a little bit here. 53. We even have another bar to go. Yeah, we do. Alright. So 5-minute bar is about to end here at 9:55. Alright, here we go. See that? It's a lot of sync now because I sped it up too much. Oh, see that? Alright, so let's go long. Let's just hit the bid. We're long too. Here, let's move this off the screen a little bit. Would have been nice to get a more realistic fill, right? Because as you see, this is coming down. It's still saying. Right, okay, this might be a little, it's delayed. See, this sucks. It's delayed. Okay, let's just restart it. Sorry about that. This is going to be a one-off video, so we're going to restart it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop this. I'm going to use date time. I'm going to use 9:56. Okay. Charts with the same link number. We're going to keep it at 1x speed. Sorry about that. All right, reload. $5.17, so we got to what, $5.21 to load, $5.19, $5.18. Taking its sweet time. I'm really looking forward to trading next week. I love trading, so. Anyway, all right, here we go. So same thing. Everything should be synced up now, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and move it off the screen. Oh, really? You're gonna reload it all? Well, that's BS. That's weird. That is so weird that it did that. See that? See where it's at? 3100, above 3100, boom. right? So this is doing the same thing. In real time, this is going to work better than... So you see how these are all lit up? See it's all lit up? Okay, let's go long. Alright, we're 4 contracts long. That's fine. Whatever. But you could see, you had plenty of time to consider the situation and get long here. Right? You could have hit the bid here at 47.50 if you were looking at it, right? You could have even, you know, buy the bid, right? Like that. Get filled on the bid, essentially. I don't know if you saw that. Just buy the bid. It means putting a whatever's set here on the best bid, right? So like here. Alright, best bid. See that? How it just enters an order right there? Oh, we're already getting profit. Again, this is 100% of normal speed. So 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart. We got our signal, what, right here. Okay, so, and that's where that was, right there. See, right on that red line. So let's speed it up. So we're long 7. This is a real simple 12 tick stop, 18 tick take profit. No, 12 tick take profit and 18 tick take profit. Anyway, we're at 5x speed now. Alright. So you're like, well, you know, how profitable can you be on something like this? How much does the market typically bounce when you get this kind of capitulation move? It usually goes pretty far. Again, I don't really like this order type. See how it moves it to break even? It's doing that automatically for me. On this kind of move, I'd probably put my stop right at like a little bit below my entry down here at 48 or something. But you know, 7 contracts, $1,250. It's doable if you want to make a living trading the E-mini. So a little bit of ask ice up here. Yeah, that's normal. So we're just seeing what we can get on something like this. For guys that have asked me about this repeatedly, they're like, how much profit can I get on something like this? All right, so all out 1470 on what, 8 contracts, something like that. The bounces are typically very significant. Depends on the volatility, but again, I'd be probably looking to take off here a little bit, right at 54. So you know, you got in, you had time to get in at 47.5 to 48 by even just hitting the ask. If you're quick, like 1 or 2 second delay, you know, and you got to be watching during these times when we start to break down and boom, you get this signal and this starts flashing. Look at the market, look at what's going on, be prepared. So it can be a really really nice little indicator. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and happy trading next week. Take it easy.